Today is a Q&A Weekends episode where we answer your question right here on the show. If you have a question you want to ask us, just email us at contact@100mba.net. Or you can send me a tweet on Twitter. My handle is BizRepublic on Twitter, B-I-Z Republic. As always, I'm your host, your coach, your teacher, Omar Zinholm. I'm also the co-founder of the $100 MBA, a complete business training and community online. And if you're new to the show, on the weekends here on the $100 MBA show, we love answering listeners' questions. It's a segment we do on Saturdays and Sundays. And then on the rest of the days of the week, we have our regular business lessons. Today's question is from Claire, and Claire asks, I need to redesign my website, but I'm on a budget. What do you recommend? Good question, Claire, and I'm sure a lot of people listening have the same question in their mind. I'm going to share with you a few options, depending on your budget, of course. And hopefully one of these options will fit your budget. Redesigning your website is something that's fun, and you should love it, and you should enjoy it, because it gives you a reason to celebrate, gives you a reason to make an announcement to your audience, and it can really help boost your business. So let's talk about how you can redesign it affordably. Let's get into it, guys. Let's get down to business. Today's episode of the $100 MBA show is sponsored by HostGator. In my book, HostGator leads the pack when it comes to web hosting. They have amazing service. They have amazing customer support, 24/7 live support via chat, phone, or email. They can help you with design services. They can help you with registering new domains. They can help you with marketing services. And they can get your site up and running in no time. And best of all, they do it all without breaking the bank. And they're giving every listener a 25% discount. Just go to HostGator.com and use promo code OmarHookup to get 25% off HostGator. Again, that's HostGator.com, promo code OmarHookup. So Claire is looking to redesign her website, but she's on a budget, so she's asking for a few recommendations. Before I go and give you some options, I want to talk about an option maybe some of you haven't considered. It might be one of the most cost-effective options, but probably not the most time-effective options. And that's learning how to design your website yourself. Now, if you're growing your business slowly, if you're not in any rush right now, if you're still developing your business, then maybe learning how to design your own website might be a good time spent. Might be something you're interested in. I recommend you check out teamtreehouse.com. They have a lot of great courses when it comes to, how to design websites, how to code, all that stuff. But it sounds like Claire already has a website. She's looking for a redesign, which probably means she's already in business and she doesn't have much time on her hands. So if you don't have time to do it yourself, and it is a time-heavy thing, then here are some other options. Option number 1, build a site on Squarespace. Squarespace is probably the easiest way to create a great-looking website. And I'm not just saying that because Squarespace has and is a sponsor on the show. They have known to become the leaders when it comes to getting your website up and running really quickly and having a professional feel. So you may want to transfer your domain to Squarespace and host it with them and design it there. They have templates that you can use. You can customize these templates. You can customize the content, and you can make it your own. I know a lot of restaurants are starting to use Squarespace because they're so easy to use and they look really nice. But best of all, Squarespace is really good at displaying good-looking content, meaning great-looking photos and videos. So if you have great photos of your products and services, or your restaurant for that matter, and the food that you serve, your site's going to look even better on Squarespace. Which leads me to option number 2. Using Squarespace plus getting some professionally done photos. Having great content, great photos, and even some great video can really help you stand out. Remember, a site's only as good as its content, whether that's the sales copy or the visuals. Having professionally shot photos done for a few $100s is a great investment. We talked about this in episode 431, should you invest in headshots? Because it's an asset you could use in all your marketing in this website and the next website. So going with Squarespace and going with Pro Photos is a great option. Option number 2, which is still under $1,000. Squarespace has a few plans, and you can actually get started and start using it for free if you go to squarespace.com/MBA. And then once you want to kind of sign up for their plans, they have 3 different pricing: personal, business, and commerce. I personally recommend that you at least go with the business, which is $18 a month, and the commerce is $26 a month. Both are very reasonable. And then if you use coupon code MBA, you can save another 10%. Again, yes, they're sponsors, but they're awesome. And why not save some money? Okay, so we talked about Squarespace. We talked about Squarespace plus having some really great photos to use on Squarespace. What are some other options? Hosting your site on WordPress is another great option. We use WordPress for our websites, but WordPress has a learning curve. WordPress is basically the framework or the management software that's used to manage your website and the content in it. You could probably understand how to use WordPress if you learned it on lynda.com or maybe some YouTube videos in about maybe a week to 10 days. That's if you dedicate a couple hours a day. And you'll have a really good understanding of how to use WordPress. Now with WordPress, you can buy some themes, and themes are just like templates. And you could buy some WordPress themes at themeforest.net, and there's themes ranging from $10 to $80. And you're going to have to customize this theme in order to fit your business and brand. But most of these themes, these professionally looking themes, have great guides and tutorials. So if you have some time to tinker with it, it's an option. But remember, with WordPress, you have to host it yourself. And this is why we recommend HostGator. And you can install WordPress on your hosting, and you're going to pay for your hosting, and you get hosting for a little over $100 a year, maybe even a little less, depending on your plan. And then you're going to buy your theme once. So that's kind of the cost of going WordPress plus theme. Talk about a total of maybe $200 for the full year, plus the time you're going to need to take to learn WordPress. Now, it's not the same as learning how to code a website. It's a whole lot easier than that. So it's a little bit of a middle ground. The third option is going WordPress, but having somebody design a custom theme. And this can cost anywhere between $1,000 to $10,000 to $60,000, depending on the designer. But if your budget's around $2,000, you probably can get a great designer for a theme. And it could be custom designed. It could look exactly like what you want. And I recommend you check out freelancer.com or Odesk. Both these options are great for finding freelance designers. And they can code it and make sure that it's installed on your server, your shared server on HostGator or whatever service you choose. And once you learn how to use WordPress, you can then add the content, all the information, all the copy, all the photos. So that's a little bit more of a pricier option. Lastly, you can have a site customized from scratch if you want. And that's going to cost you $5,000 and up if you want to get it done right. You can use some of these freelance sites, as I mentioned, but I actually recommend you go with either a Squarespace site or a WordPress site because you want to be able to manage your website. You want to be able to edit your website yourself. You want to be able to do it on the fly anytime you want. That means edit content, change copy, add photos, add videos, remove videos. So learning how to use the platform is really helpful. If you don't have the time, then go with Squarespace. It's the easiest one and the quickest one to get used to. All right, that was a lot of tech, a lot of nerdery, but it was essential. You need to know your options when it comes to redesigning your website. I want to talk a little bit about how to take your old domain and make sure that it's working with your new site. But before that, I got to give love to today's sponsor. What do you know? It's HostGator. If you're looking for a supportive team that can help you with your website any time of the day, any day of the week, check out HostGator. They have 24/7 live support via chat, phone, and email. They can help you with your website needs, your domain needs, your marketing needs, your design needs. They got your back. They also got your back because they want to give you a discount. They're hooking up every listener of the $100 MBA show with 25% off. Just go to HostGator.com and use promo code OmarHookup. Again, that's HostGator.com. Use promo code OmarHookup. Rose, lastly, I want to make sure that you know that whether you go with Squarespace or you go with a WordPress site hosted on a HostGator server or any other server, you'll have customer support because you're paying for hosting. So you can get help anytime. So one of the first things you want to get help with is making sure your domain is pointing to the right name servers, meaning that now that you've redesigned your website and it's being hosted somewhere else, whether that's Squarespace or your new hosting, or maybe you're already on one of these platforms. So then you don't have to do this. But if you do have to move, then you're going to need help to have them make sure that your domain is pointing to the right place where your new site is. So for example, if I did a redesign for $100 MBA, when they go to 100mba.net, it's reflecting the new site and not the old site. I just want to make sure you know that when you do sign up for these services, you could contact somebody. They'll help you out step by step. You can, in fact, just get on the phone with them or email or chat and say, hey, I'm building a new website. Help me. Tell me what to do step by step. That's their job. They will help you. That's what you're paying for. All right, guys, I hope that helped. Claire, I hope that answers your question. We got another question coming up tomorrow. This question is, my email list is not growing fast enough. Help! I'll give some really great tips when it comes to growing your email list, some out-of-the-box options, some ways to track your list to know how fast your growth is so you know if it's growing fast enough or not. We'll talk about it all tomorrow. I'll check you guys then, but before that, I want to leave you with this. As you can see, when you're on a budget, sometimes you're going to have to do a little bit of something. You're going to have to learn something, take some time to learn something, instead of paying a little bit more. If you're willing to pay a little bit more, you don't have to invest the time. So depending on your budget, you're going to have to sacrifice some time to either master something, know a little bit more about how to use a particular platform, but at least you have options. So if you do need to do a redesign, you can get started for less than a couple $100s. All right, guys, I hope that helps and hope to see you in tomorrow's episode. I'll see you then. Take care.